continue the conversation in terms of what this means for the holiday season and more broadly here as well. Consumers did spend a record $9.12 billion on online purchases this Black Friday, despite inflation concerns, according to data from Adobe Analytics. Some of the hottest items sold were, get this, Fortnite, Funko Pop, and Xbox Series X there. So got a range of categories that are touched there, but all of them somewhat touching gaming there. So one of the underlying themes that you could perhaps point to. And within this Adobe data, it was interesting in how they were able to kind of lay this out here, because I was looking at one of the charts that kind of gave some of the inclinations, or at least gave some of the data around where we did see these spikes in purchases that were made. And let's also think back to October, where so much of that purchasing, that demand was brought forward as well in the deals for days from Target, from Walmart, and then Amazon Prime days even being moved forward. And then now you fast forward to what we already knew would be a high demand and yearly cyclical period where they did see that $9.12 billion in revenue. And that was just on Black Friday alone there.
Yeah, there's a small wrinkle to this latest Adobe data that just hit about 30 minutes ago. They made it a point to say this is not just reflective of inflation, these sales numbers, but even if they back out inflation, Adobe is saying they saw sales up slightly year over year. But look, even if you were to beat last year's record sales by a dollar, obviously the numbers would be a record this year. But I'm looking at some of the notes out here from Wall Street. Right now, Citi is saying they saw underwhelming store traffic, and they saw a cautious consumer. And at least pre-market, I know the market is under pressure here, but you're not seeing these retail stocks at least suggest that the holiday season has got off to a bang-up start. A lot of concern out there, and it's being reflected in the space.
Because it's costing them.
Yes.
Right? The other thing that Adobe highlights in its forecast, by the way, that consumers are going to spend between $11.2 and $11.6 billion today alone on Cyber Monday, is all the discounts, all the sales that are happening. Record discounts for computers, which peaked at 27% off listed price. Great deals, they say, can be found in nearly all categories. Apparel, 19% off. Toys, 33% off. Electronics, 25% off. Everything is on sale. You guys see it in your inboxes, as I'm sure all of our viewers do too. You've been getting that flood of emails. And so, that's why perhaps we know that what's going to happen in the margins of some of these companies.
And it's not just some of those. Citi calling out heightened promotions in appliances and grills. So that grill replenishment rate under pressure, Brad.
The refrigerator replenishment rate is under fire as well. Deflationary period being signaled there. And
by the way, Adobe says the best day for a deal on appliances. December 1st.
Well, I need a new washer. Help me out.
So wait until December 1st. That's when discounts are set to peak at 18% on average, according to Adobe.
Love it.
You got to get the dishwasher that lets you check the status on your phone as well.
I mean, because why not? And anything else would be unacceptable, Brad.
That's innovation.
Yeah.
Kitchen innovation.
Yes.
This is in the broader context of the NRF forecasting that holiday retail sales between November and December are actually going to grow between 6 and 8% over 2021. So the total figure that we're going to be kind of keeping tabs on and tracking towards is somewhere between $942.6 billion and $960 billion.
I was checking out my detergent.
I was going to say, every time I see you looking at your phone,
I'm checking out my detergent. No, I'm just kidding. I definitely don't have one of those. Do they
No.
exist, though? Is that a thing? You can check your detergent and stuff?
The appliances? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's in dishwashers, washers, dryers. Yeah. I mean, they're just more connected.
I like the little gel pods.